Hello there, YouTube. I'm trying to figure out if that's actually a dog or some animal running down the road right there. I think it was a big ass dog. So I think we broke freezing. I think we might be back in it again. I don't know. It's hell for cold. I keep running across ice patches on the road. But excuse me. Look at all that moss in the road. How does that come back so quick? Is it like laying dormant down in the road and just pops out when, ah shit, you know what? I was supposed to turn back there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's not frozen. This side's frozen. But anyway, what gave me this idea about a subject or a topic is yesterday, AK Deluxe Rider posted a picture. I think there in his hometown up there by Anchorage, Alaska. There's Mount St. Helens. You can see it through the trees. Camera's not going to pick it up. I don't even know why I pointed it out. But anyway, it's a picture of this guy riding in the snow and ice on a. I couldn't tell what kind of bike it was. Actually, I have to be honest with you. I looked at it on my phone. I haven't studied it anymore. But it looked like a motorcycle with a sidecar, and it just was blistering snow and just a mess. And I made a comment saying, "Man, I feel like such a wimp turning around earlier this week because of the ice on the highway. Probably could have made it. I slid around in the car when I did it. I used to ride in that stuff. I used to ride in all the time. And that's what brings up this subject. In the conversation, I said, well, shit, maybe I should. I'm lucky I survived some of the shit I rode through. Pretty stupid, actually. I'd actually take. It's not like I got caught in it. I'd actually take off in it. When the shop I worked for closed in actually February 1st. They were shut down of 1985. February 2nd, I drove down to Portland, Oregon, to Portland Honda, and got hired that day. So had to wait for go through pay cycle or whatever the hell it was. I couldn't start right away. So I started on the 16th, February 16th, 1985. I started in Portland, Honda. And my first day, I get up, I was living, where was I living? I was living in Longview, Washington. And I get up, snowing outside. Well, the big van I had for hauling my road race bikes around was the worst thing ever in the snow. It had these great big, I don't know what the hell they were, 70-ply freaking tires. I don't remember what they were. I think they're like 8-ply tires or something. They just never would warm up. It's just impossible to ride this thing in the snow. And my wife, college or something, or maybe a job, I don't remember. But the little Toyota that I still have, by the way, looked brand new back then. Anyway, that thing is like a freaking snowmobile. It'll go anywhere. It's just a little drive truck. It'll weigh anything. It goes anywhere. Anyway, so I couldn't leave her without a vehicle. So I jumped on my now out of racing mode for the time being. My 750 Interceptor. Pulled it out, and it's funny. I don't even think she batted an eye that I was going to ride that thing. From Longview to Portland, Oregon, which is to the shop. It's probably about a 50-mile ride. Most of it freeway, and then of course drive. Hey, there's Mount Rainier. See it real good now. Hazy, but it's right there. I couldn't see it back when I was coming down 505. Anyway, and there's Mountain St. Helens. Why do I point these things out? The GoPro doesn't pick them up. It's too far away. Actually, it's not far away at all. It's just the GoPro is too far away. They're like really close, like hello and hello. Anyway, I take off and it was probably 4 or 5 inches of snow. It's kind of blistery and snow going sideways. I just drove my ass right to Portland. I'm pondering here because I think I may very well pass the road I was wanting to turn on. Kind of out in the plains here in the Toledo area is where all the farmland and stuff is. I know this is not as cool as some of the places are. Fuel lights on. And you got to very much so keep track of the mileage on this bad boy. Hope you guys have been watching this and seen the fuel light off for the last 10 miles. I'm just now noticing. Airplane. So I drive the thing to work. I pull into work. And my first day there, needless to say, there was no other motorcycles there. Here's my road. And just for a couple hours, there was like one track that came through the very front entrance of Portland Honda. They're off of Southeast McLaughlin Boulevard there in Southeast Portland. And you see this one track, and I'd hear customers coming in going, who the hell rode that motorcycle here? And, you know, of course, you know, hardly anybody knew who I was. You know, salesmen, nobody knew who I was. I was just this kid. They hired me in the parts department at the time. But anyway, they go, some kid, I think he works here now, you know. And then this one sales guy, all of a sudden I hear this guy, and he's very loud, and I don't know if he still is. You know, we're all quite old, a bit older now, but I still see him. He's one of our vendors now. But anyway, he comes walking in, and he goes, "Who the F rode the goddamn motorcycle?" And I look up, and there's a huge opening out to through the showroom and up at the front door, and I see this guy standing there with big chunks of snow falling off his coat, and a helmet in his hand, big gauntlet gloves, and he goes, "Get in the back road." He goes, "Where is that son of a bitch?" So he comes up, shakes my hand, gives me a hug. He goes, "I thought I was the only crazy son of a bitch to be out here riding this stuff." And then, I mean, we're instantly friends forever, still are, you know, 20, almost 30 years later, you know, 29 almost years later. But, crazy. So he rode, I rode. And there's 2 motorcycle tracks out in the parking lot. Everybody else comes in from a different way. That front entrance, you know, you got to stop out on McLaughlin. I didn't know, you know, that's the way I knew how to get there. It's my first day. But so anyway, for, you know, the rest of the snow season, I rode a motorcycle to work every single day. I would ride my CBX when it wasn't too bad, when it was just dry and really cold, just, you know, patchy ice on the road, which is easy to deal with. We had that big ass 6-cylinder engine, you know, so wide it would heat my feet up. That Interceptor being a V4 is just skinny, and, you know, god damn, I think your feet, my worst thing was my feet would freeze. So anyway, every day I rode a motorcycle to work. Prior to that, I lived in Texas, used to ride a little XR75 and a little Harley-Davidson X90, a little mini bike. When it snowed, we go riding around, you know, you just put both feet on the ground like outriggers, and snow, ice, whatever, we just go bombing around. You spin it in circles just like you're on a go-kart. You know, you just plant your feet. You know, a little short mini bike is nothing. So yeah, I rode ice, snow, I don't know, I just had a knack or something, I don't know. I very seldom when I'd fall, it's because I was doing something stupid. Or, you know, cutting up, you going sideways, you know, with your feet down, you know, like it was trying to make a four-wheeler out of a two-wheeler. You'd catch something in the road, all over you'd go. But, you know, going somewhere, it just went. Even when I was a kid, you know, riding bicycles and stuff, man, the winters where I lived in Texas were just extreme cold. I mean, you know, the teens and 20s below zero. When I went back there, it wasn't quite that cold, but way colder there than we ever get here. You know, the negative temperatures, you know, easily in the teens. Like bitter, extreme cold, and very, very dry cold too. A lot of the times, and you know, a front would come through with rain. Of course, that was 100% snow. But anyway, and then moved here. Of course, snow. My parents bought a house way the hell up on the hill. We got lots of snow even when it didn't snow downtown. You know, these shocks still haven't warmed up. However many miles I've driven, still haven't warmed up and softened up yet. Look out, kitty. Don't run towards me. But anyway, I used to ride around the snow and ice there. And then, you know, I moved here a couple weeks before I turned 15 years old. And then I took driver's ed, and back in those days you could actually get your motorcycle endorsement before you could get your car endorsement. So at 15 and a half, I got my motorcycle endorsement. So which is fine with me. I rode motorcycles everywhere anyway, you know. I rode my motorcycle. So that coming winter, which I don't know if I had turned 16 yet or not, but that coming winter, there's some event going on at the high school, and the cheerleaders. I was probably around there sniffing around the cheerleaders. Who knows? But I was there late, and somebody come in the gymnasium and says, "Hey, it's freaking dumping out there," you know. I'm like, "Oh, what the hell?" So I look outside, and I mean, I don't know how long I've been inside there, but there's freaking 6 to 8 inches on the ground already. And I'm like, holy shit! You know, and Longview is 26 feet above sea level. So my parents' house is probably 1,500 or better. So if it's coming down here, it is really coming down up there. I go, shit, I gotta get home. So this was on a 78 XL 250S. Honda, of course. And riding an XL Harley, XL Honda. Anyway, XL 250S Honda, 1978 model. And I bombed my happy ass home. Well, my dad was working shutdown or something at the mill. And so it was just my mom and little brother at home. And my sister calls and says, "We're trapped. We're at school. Everybody's in a frenzy. And we need a way home." And my mom goes, you know, my mom, little Irish cow, you know, she's not going to get out there and drive. I don't think she drove in the dark, you know, and it was dark. And anyway, so I thought, well, you know, there was 3 gals that lived in our neighborhood. I said, I'd get my sister and the other 2 gals home. I said, but, you know, that's it. They go, well, how the hell are you going to do that? So I do it on the motorcycle. It's a billy goat. It'll go anywhere. You know, it's just pounding powder snow. So, I mean, and it's just falling so quick. You know, the cars were, you know, trying to ride through this deep powder and just, you know, bottoming out, clogging up. You know, they're pushing the snow like a damn bulldozer and just get stuck. And I just go, I'm bombing along on the old XL Honda. Coolest thing, the snow sticks in the spokes, and you end up with these 2 great big white discs. Your spokes, cool as hell. But anyway, so I go bombing down to school, and you know, it's a trial run. I figure if somebody's gonna get hurt, you know, it's going to be my sister and I, you know. I'm not going to arrest one of her friends, you know. So I bring my sister home, no problem. You know, she ridden on back of motorcycles with me, and of course, brother and sister. So, you know, we'll go all the way up the hill. I go down this crazy steep hill that my parents lived on, and got her to the house, drop her off, grab the helmet and everything, and head back to the high school. Grabbed the next girl and dropped her off, and then went back and got the last girl who kind of lived halfway down the hill. That my parents lived in a kind of a turnaround, and the one in front of our road was, good Lord, probably a 12% grade. And at the bottom, it just, you know, was an off-camber left-hand turn. But where it looped back up, it was steeper, but for a shorter period, and it had a slow ramp at the bottom. So it was the easiest one to go down, and the easiest one to get up, because you could kind of get a run at it. Excuse me. So anyway, I come back with the last gal. She lived halfway down that hill. So I go, do you want to get off here at the top of the hill, or you want to risk, you know, trying to go down this steep part? And she didn't want to get off. She didn't think she could walk down. I mean, a pretty threatening looking hill. Even when it's dry and sunny out, it's just, what the hell? You can actually make a road out of that? Excuse me, I'm sorry. So anyway, I explained to her, I said, look, this thing's going to fishtail around. You just need to sit back, relax, don't try to steer the bike, nothing. You know, I've been telling her the whole way up the hill, but it was the twisty, windy road was pretty easy to deal with. Going real slow, no effect. But going down this hill, there's no way that you're not going to, you know, bobsled for a bit, you know. And then you gather your shit up as it levels out, and you're all right. Well, as soon as we get started down the hill, the bike squirms the first time, and she stiffens up and steers the bike. I don't have to tell you what happened next. Next thing I know, there's 3 objects going down this hill at about 90. The gal, myself, and a motorcycle. So we slide all the way down the hill. She screamed bloody murder like she had just been killed. So I'm freaking out thinking, you know, God, did the bike hit her? Did she hurt herself when she hit? I mean, we weren't hardly even moving. But, you know, once we got off, we hit that hill and that packed snow where cars were trying to get out. Anyway, she's fine. It just scared her. Parents coming out the front door, they're freaking out. Oh my God, are you okay? Why did you ride on that motorcycle? Big theatrical BS thing. So that was interesting. That one, you know, really no fear I was going to get hurt or anything. I just, none whatsoever. In fact, most of the time I never thought about it. It just, I don't know, I have no idea. Can't explain it. It didn't scare me at all. It scares the shit out of me now. But anyway, go forward a few years. I'm still riding in the snow. I had several dual sports, you know, XT500s, XL600s, things like that for dual sports. And one of the ones I had a lot of fun on was an 84 XL250R, one of the old RFPC motor, Pro-Link suspension. And a really nice bike. It was a lot of fun to ride. What the hell is the speed limit to here? Because I just passed that cop kind of going fast. But anyway, you know, we had a crazy like sleet storm, and it put about 3 inches of sleet on the road. And you know, sleet, when it's all frozen, you know, it's pretty easy to, it's probably easier to ride on than powdered snow. It almost has traction to it. But as the day went on, it warmed up a little bit, and you could tell pretty quick this shit was not gonna go away. There was too much of it down. It wasn't gonna disappear. So but it was becoming very slippery because the upper layer was melting. I thought, man, it's only going to be above freezing or whatever the temperature got up to for just a very short period, and it's going to go right back to freezing again, and this is going to be a nightmare. So I thought, oh, shit, how am I going to get home? I mean, I'm stepping outside the building, and it is so slippery. I mean, you just can't even stand up on this stuff. So we had this bag of tire studs for motorcycles, big old bag, and they look like sheet metal screws with like flat plate slots in them, but the slots were kind of angled. They weren't meant to be a screwdriver slot. They're meant to put like an edge on them, but they had like a 1/4 inch head on them, you know, so you could drive things in. They're just short. So, you know, I'm gonna have to stop this thing. One, I've made it 20 minutes long. Two, I gotta stop here for gas. I don't want to bother you with that, so we'll continue on here in just a minute.